Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. Today we have Tarzan. This is a 1999 animated film. It is from an hour and 37 minutes long, and it is, I believe, technically, I looked it up, I checked it. It is the last of the Disney animated films that I watched now on Disney Plus. I've now watched every single cinema released Disney Plus film, animated film, that's available on Disney Plus. If there's anything they haven't added, included, everything included. They have Black Cauldron. They have just all sorts of lesser known or and also all the big ones, all the recent ones, and all the classics, all the way back to Snow White. But with this movie, I've now watched every single animated Disney feature on Disney Plus, which it took me almost 6 years to do that. But wow. We have about 10 movies altogether remaining in my series here, because I'm on the path to finishing every single thing on Disney Plus that is just core Disney Plus, not ESPN Plus, not Hulu, not every shark thing, but I will. It sort of. We'll figure that out another time. But yeah. This is Tarzan. This is simply Tarzan. It is the classic tale that existed well before Disney. It is, if you ever think that maybe Tarzan was a Disney character, no. This is one of those types of characters that Disney is really good at just grabbing from the the domain kind of realm. They don't own Cinderella. They didn't create Cinderella. They didn't create a lot of things. Little Mermaid, that's a Hans Christian Andersen thing. They didn't create all these things. They took classic fairy tales, classic stories, and this is Edgar Rice Burroughs' classic tale of the man who was raised among the apes in the jungle after his loss of his family. And we get that story. It's very much an origin story for Tarzan. Yes, there are sequels available on Disney Plus as well. There's Tarzan 2, Tarzan and Jane. But some of them go back, and there were direct-to-video releases that they were doing a lot of in the late 90s, early 2000s. So being this was in 1999, I bet you this one was almost instantaneous when its sequel came out, because it capitalized on home video. Home video is where the money is at. Even if a movie didn't do so great in the box office, and I don't know how well this did, but even if it didn't do great in the box office, Disney films do so well at home, and hence the reason Disney Plus exists. It helps them keep track of how often people watch things, when they watch things, and who is watching such things. It's surveillance city here, because once you buy the VHS or the DVD, you purchase it. They have no idea how many times you watch it. They know how when you bought it, that rings up. That data gets back to them. Beyond that, though, they don't know how popular these things are. It could just sit in a shelf, be waiting to be sold on eBay once it's out of print, or goes in the vault or whatever. No longer. They now know everything you watch. And if Disney Plus looks at this, they would see that I have watched every single thing on Disney Plus that I still have just a few hundred left, and which will take me through the end of the year, a little bit beyond. Yes, there's more stuff coming in the next few months, but I'm just saying that I'm getting close to the end. Okay, in this we get like I said, the origin story. We get to see how he ended up in the jungle as a baby, and what the circumstances led to him no longer having parents. And it's depicted carefully. This is mainly a children's film. It's a children's version of how those classic films were depicted. I think when those classic old black and whites, I don't know, Johnny, was it Johnny? Oh, I'm killing myself. I don't remember his name. Who played Tarzan back in the day? Some of you might know, but I'm not going to look it up now. But Johnny Weissmuller. Tell me if I'm wrong. I think I'm right. It's Johnny Weissmuller played Tarzan back in the old black and white serials and films and things like that back in the day. And here we get the animated kids version, the Disney version, with a Phil Collins soundtrack. It's like a Phil Collins album. And every once in a while, I see that these memes pop up on social media, like, you know what? People giving some really great appreciation to the Phil Collins soundtrack work. Seriously, his work with Disney over the years has been pretty substantial, and he never just holds back. It's like when you realize the meme generally goes, when you realize Phil Collins didn't have to go that hard, he did. He did. So yeah, it's his music, his voice permeates this entire thing. His voice is unique, and he is just a classic. Vocalist artist. Remember, he was a drummer for Genesis back in the day. Who knew that he was going to move up to be the lead singer eventually as well, and then his own very popular solo career. And he is part of the DNA of this film. You can't watch this film without having an appreciation for this just the astounding soundtrack for it. Whether you like Phil Collins or not, he does a great job in this. So we get this story in Tarzan with the Phil Collins soundtrack. They're now tied together forever. We get the story of him growing up as a young boy, and the improbability of being raised by apes, and then of course becoming a man and still not being accepted by his gorilla father, because it's one of those stories where I don't know if the original story had this aspect, because again, you can only do so much in those old live action serials and films, because I guess it's been so long. I guess the gorillas in that had to be in monkey suits, guys in monkey suits. Here you can do anything, and in this, the gorilla parents suffer a tremendous loss at the same level that Tarzan had lost his parents. And so he becomes a bit of a surrogate child to the gorilla family. Kala and what did I say? Kala played by Glenn Close, by the way. That's great. And Kershak played by Lance Henriksen. That's some. By the way, this is great casting as well. This is one of those weird, forgotten gems when it comes to the whole Disney film, just backlog. I mean, all the Disney films over the years. I guess it's because it didn't have a princess. It has a mostly nude man in it for for an hour and a half, and it's silly. It is fairly violent, but I guess not so much more than anything else. You get Gaston and Beauty and the Beast, and by the way, you do get a direct Easter egg reference to Beauty and the Beast in this. You will see it. Keep an eye on things when the gorillas enter into the humans' camp. You'll see it easily if you know your Beauty and the Beast. But we have a villain in which is Clayton, whose name immediately is associated with the sound of a gunshot in Tarzan's mind. And Clayton, by the way, played by Brian Blessed. He was Hawkman, the Zoltan in Flash Gordon. He's got this tremendous, great voice that just makes for great villain voice as well. He, of course, I'm not going to tell you the whole story, but it's been around for 26 years. I think I can tell you a little something. And Tarzan's been around for God knows how long. But the story of him meeting Jane and their unlikely but inevitable love is what pulls this movie together. When Tarzan realizes, well, he's been living a life where he's so different from all the other gorillas, all the other creatures in the jungle, and everybody treats him as a little bit different, but also one of their own, except for his own gorilla father, Kershak, who will never see Tarzan as a replacement for the son he lost. And this is something that pulls at Tarzan the entire time. But when the humans arrive, anthropologist Jane and her father, Jane, by the way, played by Minnie Driver, and her father played by Nigel Hawthorne, which is just the most British sounding name in existence. Just saying. So we get these English anthropologists, scientists showing up under the care and protection of Clayton, who is really here to be a poacher. Yeah, he is here to capture or kill anything that will bring him a good amount of money once they bring it back to London. It's I'm not spoiling too much on that one because you can tell from the look in his eye the moment you see him, this guy is here to cause some trouble. He doesn't much care for what Jane and her father want. So, of course, Jane comes across this Tarzan guy, and that connection is real fast, especially since Tarzan has no concept of personal space. So, I think it's his curiousness about seeing someone who looks like him that keeps him from going full gorilla. And so, it's rather instinctively in order to be protecting of his tribe. But, so he's, by the way, a real quick learner when it comes to language. There's a whole montage of him learning what the outside world is. Now, the classic story of Tarzan often takes us to London, where the savage man is introduced to society and there's this conflict. We do not get that in this. I watched the other films already, but I can't remember if we get that story at all at some point where they head to high society, and he finds it. Yeah, I don't like it, which is also kind of a story it parallels the story of Pocahontas, which was a real thing, but not the Pocahontas story that we know in the Disney films. Trust me. The Pocahontas Disney films, Wind, Spirit of the Wind, whatever that is, it's a lovely story. It's beautifully animated, but it is not, it's pretty much 0% real. So when it comes to this never happened, but it is still compelling, fun story. The action is great. This is also, we're on the cusp of 1999. We're on the cusp of everything being 3D animated. And we had 1995 with Toy Story, but in this, it's still a 2D animated film, but so many elements of how Tarzan moves around the jungle, whether he's swinging or sliding along giant vines and things like that, it adds such a dimension of to the action, and it makes it really fun to watch. I've tried to work when I'm watching these things sometimes, but I can't help but be pulled into some of these visuals. So it's aged really well. There's a chance that when it comes to those kind of things that they can show their age, where they're like, oh, this is the old way we used to do it, and it was kind of choppy. No, it holds up. It's 26 years old, and it's doing all right. So, it is 26, it's 25, 99, 26 years old. By the way, I think Rosie O'Donnell is in this, and Wayne Knight, who for once does not play a villain. Jerry Newman from Seinfeld is how you'd probably recognize him. But Rosie O'Donnell plays Turk, Tarzan's best friend, and from a very young age. Even when he was found as a baby, Turk was that little kid who kind of glommed onto him from the start. Even as Tarzan grew taller and taller and not hairy at all, they still remained friends, even into their adulthood. And Turk plays Tonga. Tonga is played by Wayne Knight. Sorry, I'm getting all the names mixed up. Tony Goldwyn, by the way, is Tarzan and does a great job. I don't know if he did all the voice, the noise work. I would hope to think that maybe he got to do the classic Tarzan voice cry that I dare not do here because I do not want to scare my neighbors, think I'm being killed. But yeah, So yeah, it's a great cast, great music, great animation, and it's just a fun story. It's also, by the way, it could have been the kind of movie that could have aged poorly and been problematic in some ways, but Jane is hardly the damsel in distress. She definitely does get rescued more often than not, because she's not exactly skilled at climbing trees in the jungle, which seem, by the way, they do some great things with these shots. They do not always have everything this close, like how close I am here. There's so many great long shots, like you just see the silhouette of Tarzan in amongst all the trees. This just tremendous backgrounds. It just really immerses you in that world. It looks great. It's not all close-ups. It's not all mid-range cuts. It is shots. It's a nice variation that no matter which way you go in, 2D films have always felt like you're only looking at it from one direction or change an angle and you're here, just like a live action film. But with this 3D digital type of animation mixed in with it, mixed in with the 2D, it's immersive, and it shouldn't be this good for that age, for that time. So this is one of the underappreciated. Chris Buck and Kevin Lima are the directors. So yeah, this is, if you haven't seen it in a long time or never seen it, it is definitely something you can watch for the kids. It can be upsetting maybe for the little ones if they got questions when we do see the discovery of mom and dad, which is partially hidden. You don't see what happened. You know who did it. But yeah, it's it can add some, the little ones might ask some questions, and also the loss of the gorilla's son. You don't see that either. So it's safe. It's not going to be the kind of thing that's going to upset little ones, but you might get some questions. So this is older preteens and the ones who have an understanding of those kind of things. But it's fun. It's funny. It has a romantic angle to it, of course. And so yeah, this is. I'm really glad I got to watch this. I was smiling a whole lot more than I usually do when I watch these things, where I'm really engaged in it. And yes, Phil Collins' music helped, and I think if you get a chance, seriously, take some time to watch Tarzan. It doesn't seem like it's a thing you need to do, but like it's not considered one of the classics for 146, one of the classics for like the princesses and everything else, but what do you say? Oh yeah, shoot. It's not considered. Like Jane doesn't hang out with the princesses because her name isn't the title of the film. She's not the Little Mermaid or Merida. Well, Brave. The movie's not called Merida, but still, she's not one of those. So yeah, we don't get enough Jane in the princess pantheon, even though she's not royalty. Yeah, I don't know. So we never get, this doesn't connect with a whole lot of stuff. And it's really difficult to make Tarzan a standard character for meet and greets at the parks because it's just a naked man in a loincloth. So it's not like a lot of kids are like, could you sign this for me, naked man? Yeah, you're not going to do that. So yeah, I can understand why this is sort of divorced from the rest of the Disney animated films. And it's sad to know that I've now finished all the classics. But I did say that it was 146. We're not going to watch that one yet. That's going to be for another day. In fact, 2 days from now. Because tomorrow is the premiere of a new movie. And that happens to be the 2025 live-action remake of Lilo and Stitch. Yes, it premieres tomorrow, probably in a few hours. And I am going to, be watching that. It's always that question as to whether they need to keep making live action versions of animated films. The answer is there money in the world? Yes. So those things are going to keep getting made. If there's a movie that's left, like Tarzan, well, Tarzan's based on a book, and also there's no shortage of live action Tarzan serials. But will they remake their own version of Tarzan? We never know. We'll find out. But tomorrow, Lilo and Stitch, the 2025 remake, is what we're watching next in the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. I'll see you back here tomorrow with that.